JP Markets just won their case against the FSCA in the Supreme Court of Appeal. Does this mean they go right back to where they were within the South African brokerage industry? To find out the answer to that question and a whole lot more, you're gonna want to stick around. Roll the intro. Hello and welcome to the Pine Street Capital YouTube channel, where we talk all things trading and investing. My name is Ron and I'm the managing partner of Pine Street Capital. I've been trading for over 6 years, and today we are going to be talking about JP Markets' big win in the Supreme Court of Appeal. So if you've been following this case for any amount of time, then you'll know that JP Markets was shut down by the FSCA for a whole host of reasons. The main one being that they didn't have an ODP license. But the thing with the ODP license within this space is it's a fairly new requirement that brokers are required to have. So almost no one has an ODP license, right? And of the brokers that didn't have an ODP license, the FSCA went after JP Markets whilst the rest of the other brokers were able to operate. And from first glance, you can already see that there was something fishy about this case in the first place, right? So JP Markets took them on, and then the FSCA then went to the High Court and won a case whereby the outcome was that JP Markets had to be liquidated. JP Markets then appealed and they won that appeal, so the liquidation's been overturned. Great news for JP Markets, but this is far from the end of the story, right? Because although JP Markets won this case, meaning they don't have to be liquidated, what's actually going to happen right now is that JP Markets is going, they're applying to go into business rescue, essentially, right? And that case is only going to be heard in mid-December. So although people won't have to wait 2-3 years to finally get their money back, which would have been the case with a liquidation, they might still have to wait quite a few months to get their money back with business rescue proceedings. That's assuming that this entire thing goes into business rescue, right? So let's talk about the actual judgment. Within the Supreme Court of Appeal, there were 5 judges who heard the case, and they unanimously voted that JP Markets shouldn't be liquidated, right? And that just goes to show just how strong the case JP Markets had, right? And another thing that I'm seeing within a lot of the articles is a serious lack of understanding of A book and B book brokers, or that brokers run A books and B books, right? So just to clear it out for everyone, some of the articles mention the fact that, you know, most of JP Markets operations were done within the B book, and you know, some of the information that I've seen out there are people are reacting to that negatively, when in actual fact 9 out of 10 of the brokerage, well, not even 9 out of 10, 99% of the brokerages out there that you are trading with are mostly B book brokerages. They only tell you they have an A book and a B book so that they don't look like they almost make money when you lose money, right? That's the reason why they tell you they have both an A book and a B book, but in actual fact 99% of their order flow goes into the B book, right? So that's one thing you need to know about this industry. Is B booking wrong? I don't think so, because at the end of the day, if you make money on a brokerage platform, they are going to pay you, and that's what matters to you at the end of the day as a trader, right? So if you find out that a broker is B booking you and you're then like, oh, I don't want to trade with this broker anymore because they run a B book, or most of their flow goes into the B book, then you might as well not trade at all, because that's how all of them operate. All brokers basically operate a B book, and most of their income comes from that B book. And that's because of the mere fact that 99% of traders go into the markets without actually learning how to trade, and that's just how people prefer to do it, and because of that fact, most of the money's made in the B book, because if you know that most of the people who are coming into your brokerage are going to lose money, why wouldn't you take the other side of their trades, right? So anyway, that's B books in a nutshell, and let's go back into the whole thing with JP markets. So business rescue happens. Say everyone gets their money back sometime in 2022, right? Does that then mean once everyone's gotten their money back that JP markets goes back into the brokerage business? It's a very complicated question, and let me give you more insight into that through something that the FSCA actually said when they were basically interviewed about what happened in the case. So they did say they're going to abide by, let me actually read the quote here. The authority intends to abide by the judgment and now proceed with the processing of the application by JP markets for an over-the-counter derivatives provider license, and the consideration of all outstanding enforcement actions, right? Now, the mention of all outstanding enforcement actions could be a sign that maybe they might actually use some of those enforcement actions against JP markets, and maybe they might reject their ODP application based on that, right? So the intention is very clear by that quote. So that's something to keep an eye out for. And another thing the FSCA said is the FSCA brings to the attention of the public that JP Markets is not licensed as an ODP product provider, right? Neither is it entitled to conduct the business of an ODP product provider until a decision has been made by the authority on the status of its application. So that's a sign that JP Markets, well, the authority essentially made it clear that JP Markets cannot conduct business until they've reached a decision about their ODP license. Now, this could go two ways. This could be one of those things that they maybe drag on forever and ever in order for JP Markets not to be able to operate a brokerage business. You know, they might, well, with the average processing time of an ODP license might be, say, 6 months. You know, with JP Markets, they might, drag it along maybe 2-3 years or something like that. Very dirty tactic, but when you read between the lines within these quotes, as in, that's the general sense I'm getting. They're either going to reject the application or find some basis of rejecting the application, or maybe they're going to delay that process somehow. But hey, I'm just a guy on YouTube. I've got my opinion. Everyone else has an opinion about this entire thing. But reading between the lines, it almost seems like an episode of Billions, right? Whereby, JP Markets is Axe Capital and the FSCA is sort of represented by Chuck Rhodes, right? As in, like, this is what it sort of feels like. So I don't think this case is is significantly closer to ending, right? JP Markets getting back into the brokerage business and back in the position they were in, I think it's a long and hard fight. So we'll see how what happens over the next few months. But as for now, this is a big win for them, and the next milestone they need to get through is the business rescue proceedings, right? So once they get through the business rescue proceedings, hopefully everyone gets their money back. Cool. They've still got, well, clearly about 200 million rand worth of liquidity in order to continue business, or if they want to explore an offshore license or something, maybe they'll do that. Seems like a viable move if you ask me. But yeah, we'll just have to see how everything goes. But does JP Markets go back into providing the services they were? I don't see that happening, say before end of first quarter 2022. I doubt they are back in business, but sometime in 2022, maybe halfway through the year or something, or maybe towards the end of the year, maybe. But then again, that's just my opinion. So yeah, that's the entire case in a nutshell. And with that said, I've also included the most powerful video training that I've ever released right here, and you can watch it right now by clicking on it. Watch it till the end, and I promise you, the perspective that you have on trading will never be the same. So I'll see you in the next one.